Hey y'all, Bloodwing here, and welcome to another episode of Rednecks and Pigskins, Blood on the Gridiron. With me as usual is my son, J-Kid.
What's up, everybody?
Minding Freedom will be along a little bit later. He hit me up and said that he'd be a little late to start without him. J-Kid and I were talking behind the scenes. We're pretty sure it's probably so he thinks he's going to skip us talking about the Green Bay score, but
Yeah, I'm not going to let that happen.
Joke's on him. And so, but I wasn't prepared with any news because he just last minute told me he was going to be late.
There's not a whole lot of news for this week, other than the only thing I'm really aware of is the signing of James Harrison.
Yeah.
He went to the Pats, as Minding had expected.
Yep, he did call that. Now,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Corey was talking to me about the Giants. Did they hire a new coach or a new GM or something? Or
it's a new GM, I believe. Other than that, I don't really know any details. I just happened to catch it like a few minutes before.
Hey, Tim Baker, Yin Wolf, Attack Alpaca. Hey, everybody's showing up all at once.
But to take it back a step, back to James Harrison, I don't really understand the signing by the Patriots. The guy's only played 5 games this season. I don't really think he helps them all that much in any capacity. There's nothing that the linebackers they currently have can't do that he can.
Yeah. And the word is he's going to retire as soon as the season is, or that's the feeling of most everyone. So.
And it's not like Pittsburgh is going to be dumb enough to keep everything they had in place to keep it as it is when he's gone to what's likely to be their contention.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's a sign of a team desperate to better their defense going into the playoffs, because that is their biggest weak point is their defense. But I'm with you. I'm not sure how Harrison really helps them out any. Hey, all you need. Hey, Dax, that's my Warframe partner. Because it's nap time. Okay, well, hey. Take a nap. Everybody knows naps are life, buddy. Have fun. And I'll check out Steam as soon as the stream is over. Oh, and we have a Minding Freedom just in time.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm still testing my my sounds and everything, but yeah.
Yep, unfortunately we can hear you.
Starting in on him already. So we just went over just a little bit of news about Harrison going to New England and the signing of a new GM for the Giants, but that's about it.
Just a quick question there.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't someone call James Harrison going to the Patriots last week?
And we gave you props for that before you got
it. just wanted to, mention it again.
We'll give credit where credit is due. But you need all the props before we get into the scores anyway, so. Try to build you up a little, make you feel better before we drop the bomb on you.
Yay!
Woohoo!
Happiness.
So have you got anything else in news that we didn't talk about?
Yeah, actually, well, 2 big news. Well, they're Packer related news, but they struck me quite
Okay.
surprised, or they got me quite surprised. I think one came today, the other came yesterday. Two contract extensions and two big contract extensions. The Packers are how do you say that? They're tying down. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. They're tying down wide receiver Davante Adams for 4 years, giving him $58 million. And that to me looks like they are going to cut ties this offseason with either Jordy Nelson or Randall Cobb, because you can't have three receivers who are that expensive on the roster. It's like the wide receivers taking up too much money there, and one of them has to go. And with that extension now for Davante Adams, I'm pretty sure Nelson or Cobb are going to go. And the other extension is for Corey Linsley, the center, who is getting something like 3-year extension, $28 million, I think, if I remember correctly. He is a cornerstone of that offensive line, together with the two tackles, Bulaga and Bakhtiari, who most of the time were injured this season, unfortunately. But usually those three are the cornerstones, and now they're tying down Linsley for 3 more years. I think he was still on his rookie contract. Now he's got a new contract, 3 years, and yeah. So the Packers are doing something, keeping players, giving them new contracts, and yeah, it's looking good.
Okay, let's take a step back here. As a Packers fan, if you got to get rid of Randall Cobb or Jordy Nelson, who you letting go?
Oh, fuck. You're asking the tough questions today, huh? Oh man, I seriously, I don't know. I probably Jordy, because he's older, but damn, I don't know. The problem with Randall Cobb is he didn't, deliver as much as I would have loved to see him deliver. The last years, I mean, he barely got over 1,000 yards last 2 seasons, barely got over 600. So yeah, that's kind of disappointing. But yeah, I don't know. Like if we go by performance, probably Cobb. But then again, you have to account for Jordy Nelson's age, and that's just something. I mean, he's 32 now. He's going to be 33 next season, and his injury problems, and I mean, maybe even both. Maybe if there's I don't know what the draft looks like. If there's a bunch of promising receivers in the draft that you can get, I don't know, 3rd, 4th, 5th round or something. Yeah, you might get rid of both and get a bunch of new receivers.
Speaking of age, I just want to address something in the chat real quick. Attack Alpaca asked, is James Harrison old enough to be Minding's dad? Alpaca, J-Kid's almost old enough to be his dad, so yeah, probably.
Actually, I mean, to be fair, wow. James Harrison, if James Harrison was my dad, he would have had, I mean, he would have worked towards the conception of my conception at age 14.
Is this possible?
So, yeah, possible, but not likely,
I don't know. It depends on where you live.
Yeah, I know. You in your redneck country, everything's possible there. But then again, I couldn't be related to James Harrison. If you were to account that in your redneck country, brother and sister and everything, so he'd probably. I don't want to go into this. It's going to turn racist, and I don't want to.
Are you saying you're too white?
Yes, too pale, I would say. I'm pasty. I'm not just white. I'm pasty white. Okay.
Got to get out in the sun sometimes, German boy.
No. The sun is dangerous. The sun is dangerous.
Agreed.
See,
It says I, who only goes outside when I have to go to the tobacco store.
yeah, but you have another excuse. You can't really walk.
Not very well, especially on uneven turf.
Yeah. You got that going for you.
Okay, so do we have any more news, or are we ready for scores?
I can look at the transactions again. Let me see. There it is. Let's walk through the week. No transactions on Sunday and Monday. I mean, it was Christmas, so.
Oh wait, didn't I read this someday this week? Could have even been today that Jets extended Todd Bowles.
I don't know. Might be.
Let me look it up. Yes, they did. Today, actually, or no, yes, sorry, yesterday. Head coach Todd Bowles and GM Mike. What the fuck is that name? McCanyon? I think it's McCanyon, but I'm not sure. Signed 2-year contract extensions with the Jets, so 2 years now for both.
I'm kind of surprised by that.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, if you consider what everyone expected from the Jets this season, they did a pretty good job. Not gonna lie.
I thought Bowles was on the hot seat this year.
I'm surprised by the extension for the GM, because if you look at that roster, yeah, no, he doesn't deserve a contract extension for putting together that roster, or well, more like non-roster. But I mean, before this season, I expected from the Jets to go like at best 3-13. And now they're 5-10 already. So, I mean, look, given the expectations, given the roster they have, he's done a good job. You can only work with what you have, and the Jets don't have much.
True.
But again, what surprises me is the contract extension for the GM. I would have had him fired easily. He would have been gone.
Okay.
I'm looking through right now. We also have Eli Apple suspended 1 game for conduct detrimental to the team.
Yeah, that's no surprise.
I mean, yeah, but does
Doesn't
anyone
give
know
any
what happened
detail.
here?
Locker room cancer.
Okay.
He didn't punch the quarterback in the jaw, did he?
Did you just ask if he punched Gino in the jaw?
Let's see what else we have here. Oh yeah, speaking of the Giants, they named Dave Gettleman their new general manager.
There you go.
Name doesn't ring a bell. Not familiar with it.
Yeah, neither does it for me, but who cares?
Well, he's cleaning house already.
Yeah, which is good, which is needed very much. Then we also have in German NFL news, linebacker Kasim Edebali, who was with the Rams, has been released and now is with the Saints again. He was there, I think, the last 2 or 3 seasons already, before they released him, I think this offseason. And now he's back with them again because they placed defensive end Haoli Kikaha on injured reserve and had a spot open. They're like, he's familiar with our system. He knows the playbook. He was the backup to Kikaha the last 2 seasons. Let's bring him back.
Monk says he believed that fellow was the GM for Carolina a while back. He might have been.
Dave Gettleman, let me see.
Names of GMs aren't typically ones I remember.
From 2013 to 2016, he was the GM for the Panthers. However, he is familiar to the Giants franchise, as he was the pro personnel director for the Giants from 1999 to 2011. But he was with them for both Super Bowls. as a pro personnel director.
Well, at least he's got a connection to the franchise.
And a long one. He came to the Giants in 1998 as a scout. After 1 year, they turned him into the pro personnel director, a personnel director. Then 1 year as a senior pro personnel analyst, whatever that is. And then the Panthers were like, look, we got a GM post open. Do you want? And he was like, hell yeah. And he went there for 4 years, and now he's back with the Giants.
I hope it's a good sign for him. Of course, they're going to need more than that.
Yeah, but I mean, he's a two-time Super Bowl champion as an executive who is responsible for the personnel in some way. Again, pro personnel director, whatever that entails. And a 4-time NFC champion. Once with the Panthers. So he put the Panthers together to make it to the Super Bowl. You got to remember that. So, I mean, yeah, I'd be hopeful if I was a Giants fan. I'd be hopeful that he can turn things around.
Well, as a Giants fan, you don't have anything but hope.
That is true. That is sad, but very, very true.
That and being thankful that at least you're not a Cleveland fan. So.
Or Detroit.
0-16.
Yep, they're going to do it.
Finally. Well, I'm pretty sure when we go to the picks later on, I'm pretty sure the J Kid is going to pick the Browns.
I kind of have to at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
Desperate measures.
Yeah.
All right, no more news from me.
No more news. All right. Well, I guess that will bring us to the scores. I think I mentioned it at the end of the stream, but just in case, the first one is Colts 16, Ravens 23. Yes, they found a way to lose again.
Story of the year for the Colts. I mean, what else can you say?
Yeah. They'll show glimmers of hope and kind of hang in there and then let it all go away. So not much to say there. Next.
Not really.
Next.
Yeah, I'm out for this one.
No. You sit right there, buddy.
You
Vikings.
play a damn jingle.
Yeah.
You know it's true.
Yeah, but look, the thing is, I'm not joking. I tried to work on it the whole time, but it doesn't work. Like, what? Give me a second. I might have to restart the program. I try to play it, but in the meantime, you can introduce everything, and.
All right.
Yeah,
of course, by now everybody's figured out we're talking Vikings 16, Packers 0.
This is convenient.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hope this works. Let's hope I can.
Still not working?
Did he just leave?
No, he's still
stupid.
There. Well.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep, now I hear you.
Okay, now I can't hear you. Okay, that's shit.
Uh-oh. Truth is, he's muted us, so he doesn't have to hear it.
Yeah, no, I can't hear you.
Oh, this is...
Okay, now I can hear you again.
There we go.
All right.
The problem is one of my two channels isn't working, and I fucking don't know why, but...
Okay. Well, we're going to go on without the jingle because
Yeah, I'm sorry.
for sure this is the Jay Cutler Award.
Yes, it is.
Without a question. Like I said, Vikings 16, Green Bay 0, which is the first time in Packers history that they've been shut out on their home field. We have Brett Hundley, 17 of 40 for 130 yards and 2 interceptions.
Yeah. I got to be honest. I didn't even bother to watch the game because I was like, it's Hundley and it's against the Vikings and it's probably gonna be ugly. So nah.
Didn't watch it, and you missed Packers history.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with watching that part of Packers with missing that part of Packers history. Trust me. I'm totally fine with missing that.
I don't know. I think J-Kid was there for every game he could for the 0-16 season.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Hundley
Speaking of 0-16.
Yeah, Hundley is the clear winner of the Jay Cutler Award today, this week. I don't think there's any question.
No.
Indeed.
I even told you if he didn't give this award to Hundley, I was rioting.
Yes, you did. When we were over there for Christmas Eve. Yep.
All right, next game.
Let me look. Who was the second worst?
Just to see how close they were.
There were a couple.
Yeah, okay, Deshaun Kaiser, but at least he's got some yardage. He's got at least 50% completion. Yeah, but Deshaun Kaiser was 18 of 36 for 182 and 2 picks. So similar numbers, but slightly better because of the yardage. So yeah, and completion.
Oh, alrighty.
Yeah. Just to address the chat here, this is the first time in their history they've been shut out at home.
Yep.
Yep.
Hey, Vanilla Bear.
All right, next game.
All right, next up, we have Rams 27, Titans 23. Scores a little closer than I thought it'd be, actually. But outcome is not surprising.
Yeah, same thoughts I had on it. Closer than I thought it would be.
Can I just say, first off, in chat, absolutely right. The game against the Ravens was at home, so it's not the first time that the Packers were shut out at home.
Oh, really?
But I think what you might get at is it's the first time the Packers got shut out at home by a division rival.
Might be, because they've been talking about it all week.
Yeah, but no, it happened before, but it was against the Ravens. It was against an AFC team this season, so yeah. But I can look. Give me a second here. Regular season and playoffs, just to make sure. Team Packers at home lost points for exactly 0. Get results. Okay. Okay, no, it happened a few times. The Packers lost in well, I did say, yeah, playing for the Packers at home, Packers playing at home, lost game, no point. No, it happened before. In 2006 it happened twice. Against the Patriots in week 11 and against the Bears in week 1. Okay, got it. So it's the first time it happened against the Vikings.
Okay, so that's what they're touting. All right.
Yeah, the first time the Vikings shut out the the Packers. Sorry, the Vikings shut out the Packers in Lambeau.
Yeah. So
The Lions did it once in 1970. 0-40, 0-40.
wow.
God. To this day, the highest shutout in Lambeau Field.
So we just
and-
misunderstood what they were trying to say.
Yeah, and the Bears did it 4 times.
I was given all kinds of wrong information.
Yeah, you were. The Bears did it 4 times in 1949, in 1977, in 1991, and in 2006. God. That hurts. Even the Browns did it once, but it was in 1953, so I don't care. Back when the Browns were good.
Okay, so.
But good call on that, Alpaca.
Yep. Better memory than I got. Rams 27, Tennessee Titans 23. Don't know. There's a lot to talk about. Like I said,
there is something to talk about.
Okay. Talk
Yeah,
about it.
DeMarco.
Just what?
Talking about DeMarco?
No. I'm talking about 3 letters. I'm talking about MVP.
Ah.
And I'm talking about Todd
Gurley?
Gurley. Yes. On that day, this is insane. He had 118 rushing yards on 22 attempts. He also had 13 targets, 10 receptions for 158 yards as a running back with 2 touchdowns.
Heck of a day.
One of which was an 80-yard touchdown. I mean, so 276 total yards on the day and 2 touchdowns. I mean, if you look at the season of Todd Gurley, I mean, there's no quarterback really standing out, but there is a running back standing out from everyone else, and it's Todd Gurley, and I think he deserves the MVP this season. He's got 2,093 total yards this season, 19 touchdowns.
And he's done it kind of quietly.
Yes.
Like, everybody's been talking about the Rams, but when they talk about the Rams, they talk about the defense. Nobody up until now has been talking about Todd Gurley.
Yeah, but it's good that he comes up now. I mean, it's good that he now posts those numbers so that people finally realize what kind of year he had.
Right.
In this game, he was the rushing yards leader and he was the receiving yards leader of everyone on the field on that day in Tennessee. Was it in Tennessee? Well, yeah, it was in Tennessee.
Yeah.
But where I was going with it is Tennessee, while still in the playoff hunt, did lose DeMarco Murray in this game.
Oh, yeah.
He is out for this coming week, which kind of hurts their chances to make the playoffs.
Yeah and no. I mean, they still got Derrick Henry. And I don't think their chances are looking that bad. I'm pretty sure we're going to talk about this later, but all the Titans need is, like, they don't even need to win if something else happens. They don't necessarily need the win.
They need to win, and Buffalo and Chargers need to lose.
No. They either win or Bills and Chargers lose. They don't need all of it. They either need the W themselves or Bills and Chargers lose.
Yep.
Bills are playing at Miami. I mean, it's Jay Cutler, so. But again, in Miami, so there's a chance. And Chargers are playing against Oakland. That can go either way. So there is a chance, and they're playing against the Jaguars at home. But I think it's looking good for the Titans at this point. Like, the Bills and the Chargers need much more to make the playoffs.
All right. Next, Bills 16, Patriots 37.
We have to talk about something here, I think. How was this not a catch? How was this not ruled a catch?
The Kelvin Benjamin?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I think it was last week we had that discussion about.
Yep.
Yeah, no, but the situation is different. Last week, I said, by rule, it was correct, but the rule is shit.
Yeah.
This was wrong by rule.
Well, what I was referring to was my statement last week that not even the officiators know the rules.
Yeah, I don't think there was a problem with the officiating. The thing is, all these reviews and everything since this season are decided from New York, from the league office, and the league office doesn't fucking know what the catch is. They don't know the rule. That's the problem. Give the replay back to the guys in the stadium who know what the fuck they're doing. This was this when I first saw this in the preseason that they're gonna change the whole replay system so that the decision comes from New York. My first thought was, holy fuck, what a bad idea this is. And I was proven right by this play. Finally. It took 16 weeks, but we got there. And it's leave it to the refs on the field. They get the screen. Why the heck is the ref even looking at the screen if it's already decided from New York? Why the heck is the ref standing at the sideline with the tablet in his hand, looking on the screen when he's got the league office in New York on his headset telling him what to decide? That makes absolutely no sense. Get the fuck rid of that rule. It's bullshit, and it needs to be gone because this decision should at least have stood. Not necessarily been confirmed because, you could have a smidge of doubt, slight doubt that the second foot was down. But you definitely had no clear evidence that the second foot wasn't down. You saw the grain of the turf. You saw it spray up a little. So there was something down in some form. And you don't see any red running through the grass there on the turf, so it's very likely that was the second foot.
I agree and disagree. Attack Alpaca. He says ridiculous call. Remember the Jets TD earlier in the year against the Pats that got overturned. The Patriots benefit from bad officiating yet again. Yes, they do have a tendency, in my opinion, to benefit from bad officiating, but it really wouldn't have made that much difference in this game.
Well, at that point, it absolutely does.
Yes. That's the thing. At that point, the score was, what, 10-17 or something?
Yeah, this game was incredibly close until the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if the Bills get the lead there, this game might totally go into a different direction. And
absolutely.
But I want to disagree with Attack Alpaca on a different note here. The Jets touchdown that was overturned earlier this season, it was right to overturn it because Safarian Jenkins did lose control of the ball. So, like, I'm totally okay with that call. But this one here, taking away the touchdown from Kelvin Benjamin, was bullshit.
Yeah, but I would agree. Maybe it's a matter of perception and the fact that I can really not stand the Patriots. That they do.
We all can stand the Patriots, Bloodwing. We all can.
They do tend to benefit from bad calls. It seems like they really do.
By the way, as do the Seahawks in the NFC. Just saying.
Another thing that stood out to me about this game, New England's defense had 6 sacks.
Yeah, where did that come from?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I didn't see the game, so I don't know if it was New England's defense or if it was Tyrod Taylor, because I know he has a tendency to hold on to the ball a little bit too long. But 6 sacks for New England's defense is incredible.
Yeah,
compared to what they've been doing this season.
Who woke those boys up?
Not just 6 sacks. They also apparently recovered a fumble, or some kind of turnover. Oh no, sorry, that was the Bills. Sorry, I read that the wrong way around. Yeah, no, but I mean, they forced a fumble. They did that. They didn't recover, but they forced a fumble too. So, yeah, I mean, 6 sacks from that defense, and they didn't allow a lot of rushing. 24 rushes, 84 yards. That's not much. Seems like now in December the defense for the Patriots is kind of coming to play.
And as people who hate New England as a whole, that's not something we really want to see.
Right.
That is true.
You really don't want to see their defense waking up just as they're going into the playoffs. That's got to be scary for some of the other teams.
Yeah, and I want to address Attack Alpaca in Chad. Hard to say he definitely lost control enough to overturn it. Talking about the Jets touchdown. Agreed to disagree on that one. Well, the way I looked at it, and I looked at all the camera angles, and there was one camera angle from, I think it was behind the end zone, where you could really see that the ball did come loose, and it was pretty clear that it was before the end zone. I mean, from the, if you have a bit of perspectual vision, you can see that was like a yard short, maybe a bit more, where the ball came loose and he never recovered it, and it went out of bounds in the end zone. It went out of bounds, and was never recovered by anyone until the ball was already out of bounds. So, yeah, from the ref, I would fully support the ref's decision here, because I saw the same thing. And they explained it. I don't know who was the ref at the game. It was either, God, was it Steratory? Mr. Index Card? That was the moment of the year for me. But I think it was him. Not 100% sure, though. But yeah, I fully support the decision. I saw the same thing. And if I was a ref, okay, I'm not an NFL ref, but if I was, I would have overturned that call just like they did, and I would have given the Patriots the touchback here. Even though, and I can assure you, I hate the Patriots.
I think most everybody does, except for Patriots fans.
Yeah, either love them or hate them.
Yep. You're either a fan or you hate them. Okay.
Kind of like Donald Trump.
I don't know. I'm kind of meh about that fella. Anyway, okay. Next up, Browns 3, Bears 20.
It's the Browns.
Yeah.
What else should we say?
Yeah.
It's also the Bears.
Yep.
And good for them putting up 20 points.
Yeah. That is true. I'm sorry, son, though. It looks like they are going to get that 0-16.
There's one more week.
All right. Next, Falcons 13, Saints 23.
Hopes for this game?
Do what? You broke up really bad.
I said I had really high hopes for this game, and it turned out to be incredibly boring.
Was it? I didn't see any of it.
I didn't see it either.
You have two very high-powered offenses, and they did nothing.
That's true. It's a pretty low-scoring game for both of those teams.
Well, there were 2 touchdowns from the Saints and 1 from the Falcons. But yeah, the expected over-under was 52 points. They scored 36. That is disappointing. Yeah.
And it's almost funny. Matt Ryan and Drew Brees' stats are very similar. Matt Ryan had a few more yards, but other than that, he had 22 out of 36 for 1 TD and an interception, and Drew Brees had 21 of 28 for a TD and an interception.
Yeah, the completion is a bit better for Brees with 75%, whereas Ryan had roughly 60.
Yep.
And that's a lot better for Breeze.
They did,
But
however, in this game complete the duo. We've already had the butt fumble, and in this game
yes,
we had the butt
yes,
interception.
the butt pick.
And there was also a butt fumble in this game. Another one, by
There
the way.
was? There was?
Yes. Devontae Freeman ran into the backside of one of his offensive linemen at the goal line.
Oh no! The butt fumble 2.0.
So we actually had both in the same game.
Wait, I want to see that. Give me a second. I found it on YouTube. Let me see. Yeah, they're celebrating. I don't care. Oh no! No! He really ran into the backside of his offensive lineman, Mac.
Yep.
Oh no! Poor guy. Oh god, that. If I had the soundboard available right now, I would play "I Am Sick. I Want to Throw Up." His center, Alex Mack, was the one he ran into. Oh god, that's so heartbreaking to see. We had a butt fumble, amazingly.
Yeah, a butt fumble and a butt interception. Had them both, and that was the high point of this game.
I like the term butt pick much more because it sounds nastier.
Okay. All right. Next up, Lions 17, Bengals 26.
All right, two things about this game. First of all, I said it last week. I didn't feel good about picking them because every time I pick them, they lose. Sure enough, I picked them. They lost.
But what about your other rule that when you pick against both of us, you usually get it right?
There's an exception to every rule. That exception is the Lions.
Okay. And second? What was your second?
There is a silver lining to this. Hopefully, after the elimination from this year's playoffs, the Lions have figured out their mistake and will get rid of the monstrosity that is Jim Caldwell as their head coach.
I hope they keep him, but I'm a Packers fan, so of course I want them.
Sure you do.
Of course you do. He seems to be a nice guy. I mean, personally, a nice guy. He was liked personally here in Indy when he was here, but everybody sighed a collective sigh of relief when he left.
That's all I got about this game, though.
I'd be fine if the Vikings hire him.
Oh, yeah. Or Chicago.
We can agree on that. That's great.
Yeah.
Or the Bears, for that matter. But then again, no one could turn the Bears around at this point.
I mean, you wouldn't be hiring Cutler to turn anything around. Or not Cutler. I looked at the chat. Caldwell.
You wouldn't hire Cutler to turn anything around either.
That's true.
Unless you want to go from first to last.
Oh, yeah. That's a turnaround.
Happened to us. Okay. Next up, we have Buccaneers 19, Panthers 22. Close game.
Very close. Came down to like the last 30 seconds, I believe.
Yeah, 35 seconds, 2-yard rush by Newton.
On a play on which he recovered his own fumble, and then scored.
Oh, I seen that. Yeah.
Oh, I see something different. Did Jameis Winston really fumble the ball 3 times and lose all 3 of them?
Possible. I am not sure.
Yeah, Cam Newton for no gain. Cam Newton fumbled, recovered by Cam Newton, touchdown.
Yep.
Nice.
To win the game.
Nice.
Yeah, I think they showed that clip while we were over there for Christmas Eve while we were watching the Dallas game.
Yeah.
How do you fumble a ball as a quarterback 3 times in a game and lose all 3 of them? How?
Strip
Is there
sacks?
a butt fumble? Let me look quick. Jameis Winston butt fumble. Just so we're clear, just so we're clear. No, apparently there was no butt fumble. Okay.
My guess would be strip sacks, but unfortunately, they didn't show that game in my area, so I didn't get to see it.
Anyway, it's weird. But
the thing that came out of this game is the tirade Jameis went on after his last turnover to end the game.
I don't remember, but
typical crybaby kind of explosion.
Wasn't Jameis Winston that guy who basically got his best receiver suspended a week or two ago?
Did he?
I think earlier against the Saints, he did something that got Mike Evans suspended or something. I think what happened was, I think Marshawn Lattimore, the guy who caught the butt pick, as it shall now be known. I think Winston was pointing and yelling at the ref, and then he was touching Lattimore from behind on the neck, or on the neck, and Lattimore turned around, lashed out, and that's all Mike Evans saw, and he basically bull rushed Lattimore and drilled him into the ground, and that's what he got a suspension for. That was earlier this season, definitely, but I don't know when.
Well,
but that's what Jameis Winston does this season, so.
I was going to say, anybody that's followed Jameis in college, even before he got to pro ball, is not entirely surprised.
Yeah. Oh, it was week 9, and he didn't get suspended for it. So Evans, interestingly enough, but but yeah, Jameis Winston, also the guy who coined the term "eat a W."
Yeah, whatever that means.
Yeah. God, Jameis, what are you doing? I think there's where on NFL programming is this section of "Come on, man." Is that what I'm talking about?
Yep, I know what you're talking about.
I think ESPN does this, right?
Yes.
I think Jameis Winston should be featured on that when they do what's it called? When they look back on the year. What's it called?
Like a best of?
Yeah, a best of 2017. Come on, man. Jameis Winston should be featured many times. Eat a W. Basically getting your best receiver ejected. I think he was ejected from the game though. And 3 strip sacks. Come on, man.
All right. Next up, we have Dolphins 13, Chiefs 29.
It's the Dolphins. Can we go on?
Yeah, it really not a shock there. And the Chiefs have seemed to wake up out of their funk a little bit. So
hopefully they keep that up going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be mad to see the Chiefs go deep into the playoffs. It's been a while, so.
I don't have the soundbite, but playoffs?
Yeah.
All right. And
that would have been a good timing.
that takes us to the Broncos 11, odd score. Redskins 27.
I love me some odd scores, I gotta say. I haven't looked at whether this is a scorigami. I think it is, but I'm not 100%. I mean, 11 is very odd.
Yeah, you don't see it very often at all.
I got my list somewhere. There it is. Give me a second. Did 27-11 happen before?
I think.
Yes, it did. Amazingly enough, it did. I don't know when. I don't have that in my list, but it did happen before. That is amazing.
Looking at the box score, I'm not real sure, but I am guessing that they had a field goal in the first quarter, which is a pretty good guess at 3 points.
Yes.
And 8 points in the fourth quarter, which probably, touchdown and go for 2?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Oh, 27 to 11 happened a few times. Last time, 2013, when the Steelers beat the Browns in Week 12. So it happened 6 times before. I didn't expect that. I mean, sure, 27 points happens fairly often, but 11?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, at least to me, it's a very odd score. You don't see it very often, or it didn't seem.
Yeah, it happened 7 times in the last 23 years.
That's a little rare.
Yeah.
All right, but otherwise, unsurprising. It's just been the Broncos this year. Next, Chargers 14, Jets 7.
Kind of an ugly game.
Yep. 3 touchdowns, nothing else. Oh. That must have been a boring ass game.
And Chargers not really looking like they're playing for a playoff position. It's like they're just playing to finish the season.
Yeah, it seems so, kind of. It seems like they've given up.
It's almost like they don't even know they have a chance.
Yeah. Yes, someone should tell them all that needs to happen is they win against the Raiders, the Titans lose against the Jaguars, and either the Ravens win against the Bengals or the Bills lose against the Dolphins. That's all that needs to happen. It's not much. Well, it is kind of much, but well, one of the things they can control themselves if they beat the Raiders, so that's out of the way then. Then they have to root for the Jaguars. I mean, the Jaguars are fairly good. They already tied down the division, so, it could happen. And the Ravens beat the Bengals? Yeah, could happen.
Okay, and speaking of the Jaguars 33, 49ers 44.
They needed 5 more points.
49 for the 49ers.
Yeah.
It was a game. It was a loss that really meant nothing to the Jacksonville since they'd already clinched the division. But still, a bit surprising to me.
Jimmy G, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jimmy G is the man. And I expect him to get a lot of money this offseason from the 49ers.
Yeah, hopefully he's finally found him a place because he seems to be working out for him really well. 21 of 30 for 242 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception, and he rushed for a touchdown.
Yeah, 1 yard. Probably quarterback sneak or something.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it, but that's what it looks like on the a 1 yard rush from a quarterback. Come on.
Yeah, well, it gives him a total of 3 yards in the game.
Yeah,
on 3 carries. So
it's funny to see the flow of this from when he was traded to now. How certain New England fans were like, he wasn't playing anyway. We got some picks out of it. Good trade. To now, and they're like, what were we doing?
Yeah,
because Brady's not going to play forever. He's getting pretty long in the tooth.
And Jimmy's going over there and just lighting it up for a team that was and crap. I mean, they showed some promise, but it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think I said it last week that I think the Seahawks are going to take a backseat to the Rams and the 49ers. I think the 49ers are the real deal for the next few seasons if they can keep Jimmy G. Of course, I mean his contract ends at the end of the season. The 49ers should hope they can get him back, hopefully on a very long-term deal. But I mean, look, what would really not surprise me at this point? If Jimmy G goes back to the Patriots. Imagine with this all just being a big, how can you call it, big ripoff of the 49ers. Imagine Belichick and Garoppolo talking in Belichick's office, being like, "Yo, Jimmy, you got to do something for me. We need a few more picks for the next draft. Can you go to San Francisco for 1 year? We're gonna sign you back after this, and you're gonna start in 2 years or 3 years. I don't know what exactly he said. And when Brady retires, he's not gonna play for that long. He's gonna retire in 2 or 3 years. So you can play that. You're gonna be the starter for the Patriots, and we're gonna get you back. You get a lot of money, but just do that for me, so we get a few more picks. All right." I'm pretty sure that's how it happened.
Much as I hate to admit it, I could see Hoodie doing something like that. But I hope not, honestly.
I'm going to go the other way on that. I would love it if that were true. I can't see that. That's a big risk to be taken.
If that were true.
Because that would be hilarious.
Yeah, but it would be the Patriots pulling some shit against some other team again.
I don't even care. That'd be funny.
Regardless of how it goes, if he doesn't get picked up by the Niners, there's some teams he could, going to need a quarterback, and I'm sure he's going to be. Jimmy's going to get paid one way or the other.
That's why I don't see New England doing that.
The thing is, do the 49ers have the option of the franchise tag? Can they put that on him next season?
I don't know.
I don't know how that works either. With somebody that just came in like 5 weeks to go in the season.
Let me look that up. You can sorry. You can talk about the next game. I'll look this up.
I'm gonna stay here for a second. That's why I can't see New England doing that. It's an awfully big risk to be taken when he goes and he performs so well that you're gonna have to overpay him to get him back. Because I don't see him going and playing like this, being able to get that big payday, and then taking to go back to the Pats. I just don't see it.
Well, if you get promised the starting job for probably the greatest dynasty of the last 20 years.
I mean, you could be promised that, but who knows if that's actually going to come to fruition when you have to wait 2 or 3 years. You don't know what's going to happen in between that time.
I mean, yeah, but come on. Bill Belichick wouldn't pull that shit on players. He only does that on other teams.
and I don't know exactly where they're at on salary cap, but taking their division, they're not going to have the best picks, and they're going to have to shore up that defense some way, somehow. So they've got that to consider as well. And like I said, whichever way it goes, I think Jimmy gets paid wherever he goes.
Oh yeah, definitely. Let me look right here.
That could be your next Jacksonville quarterback.
Ooh,
oh God,
Lord have mercy!
That would turn Jacksonville into something really dangerous and scary. If he goes to, I
like it for both Jacksonville and Jimmy G.
Yeah, sure, but I mean that would make the whole division like just the Jaguars division. Like it would be the AFC South would be the Jaguars and the rest of them.
Him at Jacksonville with that defense, they'd be darn near unstoppable. I mean, they're almost already there now with the quarterback they have.
If the Jaguars get Jimmy G, they're gonna get a Super Bowl first season. If that happens, I'm gonna tell you right now. If that happens, and Jimmy G goes to the Jaguars first season, Super Bowl. Not just Super Bowl appearance, Super Bowl win.
Wow.
Mark my words. The end is nigh. The end is nigh.
I'm just going all the way back to New England even letting loose of him. I mean, he proved himself that season, the Deflategate season when he played and, when Brady couldn't. It just shocks me that they even let him go. But they did.
Yeah. I'm gonna look right here. I don't see why they couldn't franchise tag him. So
Because, like I said, and everybody, it's not big news. Everybody's aware of this. They're going to need a quarterback soon. I don't know that he will, but it wouldn't surprise me to see Brady retire after this year. He's getting pretty long in the tooth.
Yeah. That might have been the plan of Belichick all along. Now imagine if Brady actually retires, Garoppolo comes back in.
Yeah.
Starter right now. I didn't want to say it because I think Brady is still going to play for at least 1 year or two. You know,
See if he can get back to the Super Bowl one more time.
Yeah, I think that's what he's hoping for. But if he doesn't, if this is his last season and he is going to retire, ooh, that would be something really dirty that Belichick and Garoppolo together pulled off on the 49ers.
Yeah. Like I said, though, I don't know where their salary cap is, but how big of an issue it is for them right at this moment.
The Patriots or the 49ers?
The Patriots. But, it would be definitely cheaper for them to pull a quarterback out of, the draft.
Yeah, I don't think that's an option there. Salary cap for next season has $14.7 million open.
Yeah, but they've got to shore up that defense.
Yeah, so. Definitely.
Oh, they got James Harrison. They're good.
Right. Okay.
Oh man.
Let's see.
Oh, and Brady still has a contract for next year, so I don't think he's gonna retire. I mean, if he does, I think that. Oh, he also got a potential out of 2019. Okay, so he can leave. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that Brady is gonna play one more year.
Yeah, if he's got a contract, he probably will. But I'm not gonna make any bets on him sticking around after that.
Yeah, he has a potential out before the 2019 season. So before the second next season. Not the next season, but the one after that.
If you're in the Patriots division, if you're in that AFC East, don't sigh too big a sigh of relief, because we all know Belichick can turn a sow's ear into a silk purse, so to speak.
Yeah. He can turn a gas station cashier into an NFL wide receiver.
Pretty much. All right. Next up, Seahawks 21, Cowboys 12. J-Kid and I actually watched quite a bit of this game.
Also kind of boring.
Yeah, it was. The only entertaining part really was, oh Lord, there goes my old man memory. The Cowboys receiver, the one we don't like. Dez
Bryant?
Yeah, his crybaby antics on the sideline.
I mean, we had two crybabies in that game, Dez Bryant and Michael Bennett. I mean,
well, it was just hilarious that Dez goes to the sideline pitching a fit because he's not getting any looks. And he goes out the very next time they're on the field, gets a look, and gives it up.
Yep.
That's
Dez Bryant in the nutshell.
That and the pick six that ended up with the player in the giant cauldron for the
Salvation Army.
That was hilarious.
I mean, the mocking of Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah, Zeke did something similar, I think, last season. Yeah.
Yep.
They got a penalty for it, but I'd say that's one penalty that was probably worth it.
I don't think that should be. Did Zeke get a penalty for that when he did that last season? I don't think he did.
Probably.
I don't know, but I know the Seahawks did.
By rule, he has to.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I'm not against the Seahawks finally getting some penalties, but at least give them for something they actually do and not for some bullshit.
It's for using props. You can't use props when you score.
I think he didn't get a penalty last season.
Yeah, not much to this game.
I'm looking it up right now. I don't think he did. Please tell me.
It was Zeke's first game back. He looked good. Not that it matters for Dallas because they're limited, but he looked good. Dez was the cause of 2 turnovers.
Oh,
I love seeing that.
yeah, I just found it. So he was flagged for excessive celebration for that one, but he was not fined, which is interesting. But okay.
I don't know if the Seahawks player was fined, but definitely they threw the flag.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's okay then. If they flagged it for Elliott last season, then it's okay. I was under the impression that they didn't flag it, but they did. Okay.
You know, all I'm saying is I got a pretty good chuckle out of it when it happened.
Oh yeah. It was fun.
Okay, next up, Giants 0, Cardinals 23.
Yes, not the only shutout of the week. I'm happy.
And the Cardinals actually seemed to play a game where they weren't just playing up or down to their opponent. So,
yeah.
I mean, if not for
what is there to say about the game?
if it wasn't for what?
If not for Cleveland, the first 2 picks of this draft would be the Giants and the Colts.
No, you're hurting your dad, man.
Yes, it is absolutely true. I will admit to that. Both of my teams have sucked severely this entire season. But at least the Colts were doing it without their starting quarterback. Can't say the same about the Giants. Okay. Next up, Steelers 34, Texans 6.
No surprise.
No.
Yeah.
I figured that game was going to get pretty ugly.
But wasn't there probably the catch of the year? A 1 touchdown catch for the Texans by DeAndre Hopkins? Wasn't that the one? Come on, Jacob, tell me you saw it.
I did not see it.
Yeah, he got 1 touchdown.
But it was I think that is the one. I hope I'm not mistaken here. DeAndre Hopkins, Steelers catch. Yeah, it is. It was. I'm gonna send it to both of you here in the. No, you know what? I'm gonna put it in the stream chat. There it is. That's the link. That was an amazing catch. I mean, one-handed, like first with the right hand, then with the left hand. And what? Look at that.
I'm waiting for an ad to get through. Yeah.
Tipped it to himself.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Tipped it to himself with the right hand, caught it with the left. All the while he was fighting with the defender and trying to stay in bounds. I think that's as good as it gets.
Yeah, that's a good catch.
It's a shame that this was the only touchdown, the only points in the game for the Texans. And it was only a 3-yard catch. But, you know, it was a great catch.
If you're going to have a highlight, make it a good one.
Yeah.
There you go.
Indeed. Indeed.
All right. Go back. All right. Next up, we have Raiders 10, Eagles 19.
As badly as Oakland played this game, I'm surprised this score wasn't further apart.
Yeah, from what I see right here is that Nick Foles didn't play the way he did when he first came in for Wentz. He really took a step down this game. I mean, 19 of 38 for 163 yards only. A touchdown and a pick. I've seen better.
Yeah, not a whole lot better than what Derek Carr did, which wasn't a lot.
Yeah.
Are they the biggest disappointment this year?
In my mind, they are. In my mind, they are. But, you know, I guess that would be subjective.
I mean, I'd go. Sorry to say that, but I'd go with the Giants. Before that season, I expected a lot more from the Giants than going, probably 2-14 now.
I don't know. I really didn't see the Giants going that deep into the playoffs this year. I really didn't. So.
Not necessarily talking about the playoffs, but come on, at least get an 8-8 record.
Yeah,
you know, not 2-14.
Before
totally
the season.
Tanking the ship.
Yeah, but before the season started, I thought, and I wasn't the only one, a lot of talking heads agreed with me, thought that the Raiders were going to go places this year, you know, into the playoffs.
Yeah.
I was one of those talking heads.
Yeah. So I understand the disappointment with the Giants because I certainly feel it. But it's not like, you know, thinking they're going to go in the playoffs and then, you know, pretty much ending your season under 500.
Yeah, but I mean, I'd still pick the Giants as the biggest disappointment over the Raiders.
Yeah, like I said, that would be probably subjective.
Like for me, it's a simple mathematical thing. Like the Raiders, I would have seen before the season at 10-6, maybe. Yeah, I think that would have been a fair assessment. Now they're probably going to end the season either 6-10 or 7-9, which is, if they ended 6-10, 4 games away from what I expected them to do. The Giants, if they win, which, come on, that's a stretch. If they win in week 17, they're going to end the season 3-13. I would have seen them at 8-8, maybe 9-7. So that's further away, at least 5 games, to at most 4 for the Raiders. So the Giants disappointed me more.
I didn't even expect them to do as well as 8-8. So
yeah, I really didn't either.
We all agreed before the season that this division was wide open for everyone. Like we all saw or you two saw the Eagles like kind of on top, but not by that much.
Right. Well,
and I went so far as to say, you know what, I'm gonna put up my random number generator.
Oh, the Redskins.
Yeah, okay, that didn't work out, but then again, it was a random number generator, so I don't care.
Yeah, but nobody
the Redskins
really
weren't that bad. I mean, they're 7-8. They could go 8-8. I mean, yeah.
Nobody really saw the Eagles breaking out like they did, though.
Yeah, not like that. I mean, the Eagles, you know, winning this division. Yeah, a lot of people saw that, but what did most people expect? Like 11-5, 10-6, something like that. Yeah. Probably not 13-2 with week 17 still waiting. No one saw that happening, and them getting the number 1 seed and everything. No one did that. No one did see that coming.
All right. Well, that's all the scores for last week. So that brings us to our picks for next. And first up, Packers at Lions.
You go first, J-Kid, because I think this might be interesting for both of us here.
Okay, I haven't done it in a while. This is my tie of the week.
Okay, I did not expect you to go that way.
I don't think any of the team's capable of winning this game. It's going to be like, who loses it?
Might be.
Yeah, probably, and Packers are going to lose it.
You think so?
Yeah.
If anything, I give the Packers the advantage because Mike McCarthy versus Jim Caldwell.
Yeah, but then again, Brett Hundley versus Matt Stafford. Come on.
I'm gonna pick the Lions in a close one.
So Lions twice and a tie by the
Yep.
Lions fan. Wow.
0-0.
I'll die if they do end up being tied.
0-0. A double shutout.
I wonder if that's ever happened in history. I don't know.
It has early in the history of the NFL. It has, like, let me look it up. When was the last time that happened? Final scores of 0-0. Find games. I think the last time was something around 1970 or something. I don't know. No, 1943 was the last time there was a 0-0 between. I can't make this up. The Giants and the Lions.
There it is.
Yeah.
The Packers. Let me see if the Packers and the Lions ever had a 0-0. I don't think so. Give me a second. Green Bay Packers. No, the Packers against the Lions never ended in a 0-0.
All right. Next up, Bears at Vikings.
Vikings.
Yeah.
Next.
Easily.
Pretty much.
They're gonna maul them.
Well,
Which is funny enough because the other team is the Bears, but you know.
hang on a second. Do the Vikings still have a legitimate shot at the number 1 seed?
That's a good question. I don't think they do, but I'm not 100% sure. It could be that they have.
If they don't, I see them resting their players, which gives Chicago a chance to win this game.
Give me a second. What is the? I need to find the NFL playoff tiebreakers. I'm gonna do the calculation here. I think we've got time, right?
Sure.
Yeah, we got time.
Okay, to break a tie.
And Monk's on the same.
Clubs head to head. Did the Vikings and the Eagles play each other this season?
No.
Okay, then that falls out of it. Then we have best record in games played within the conference. What's the conference record of the teams? The Eagles are. God, where the heck can I? Okay, there I have to look it up.
There we go. Alpaca says no. Eagles clinch top seed, but if they lose and Carolina wins, the Panthers could take the number 2 seed from them.
I don't care what he says. I want to calculate it myself. Yeah. Okay. The Eagles are 10 okay. Eagles are 10-1 in conference. Vikings 9-2. That means, they would be both tied if the Vikings win and the Eagles lose. Common games. Fuck this. No. Okay. I'm gonna believe Attack Alpaca.
Yeah.
So
I don't want to have to compare all the common games. No.
Minnesota
I
could
oppose
still
that.
lose their number 2 seed, so I don't think they'll be resting anybody.
Yeah, they'll probably play their starters.
There's the beautiful thing that's called the playoff machine. Where's the Vikings here? There they are. Let's say Vikings win, Eagles lose. Yeah, nothing's changing. Okay, so the Eagles already have the number 1 clinched, but yeah, they could lose the number 2 to the Panthers. Wait, only to the Panthers? Let's see. Could they lose it to the Rams? No.
No, just the
Okay.
Panthers.
What? Hold on. We also have the Saints in there. Couldn't lose it to the Saints either. That's interesting. That is weird. Okay. But if the Panthers win... Nah, wait a second. Oh, okay. No. The situation is actually a lot different. That is interesting. That is the most unlikely scenario. Not only do the Panthers have to win, but the Saints and the Rams both have to lose as well. I don't know what kind of wizardry is behind this, but the Vikings only lose second seed if the Panthers win, the Saints lose, and the Rams lose. That is insane.
Yeah, Attack Alpaca is explaining it. The Vikings beat the Rams and Saints head-to-head, but they lost to the Panthers. So,
yeah, and apparently there is no sweep when three teams get involved, and the Vikings have the best conference record, probably. And that's why they get the number 2, even if there's more than the Panthers involved, the Vikings and the Panthers involved in that tie. That would be my explanation.
all right.
Boy, we could save like 15 minutes if we just listened to Alpaca.
Shut up.
All right. Talking about a waste of time, Texans at Colts.
I mean, you got to go first.
Me? Yeah.
Yeah.
God. I really haven't picked them much this year. I really haven't. And so I'm going to go with the Colts just because I just hope they win one more game before the season ends.
I don't even know.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Colts as well. Because the Texans have been so shit lately. Ever since Watson went down.
Yeah, I'm going to go Colts too. I'm going to ride Frank Gore. He's been playing pretty well the past couple games.
Yeah, he has.
Do you have something to play for? Like some kind of rushing yards spot to gain on the all-time list?
Yeah, well, he passed the ones that he was in reach of. I'm not sure.
I'm looking at it right now. He's in 5th place now. He passed Bettis and Tomlinson.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Good old LT. And if he, that's quite far though.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say.
If he gets 100 and what is that? 175 yards, then he's tied for 4th with Curtis Martin.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is that he took 5th spot, but 4th is a little far off.
Only 175 yards. I mean, if he has a really good day, good day.
He said he's playing next year, so really he's still kind of playing for a contract.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Maybe he gets 176 yards then.
and they better pay that boy.
Oh,
I mean, Mac has glimmers of being good, but right now that's all that it is. It's just glimmers. He needs some polishing. But he's not the power runner that Frank is at all.
Yeah. Give him one more year to learn under the legend that is Frank Gore.
Yeah. Next, Browns at Steelers.
Browns.
I knew it.
Oh, it's Steelers, and even he knows it is. But he's desperate.
Look, just to show all of you viewers once again that J-Kid's claim that when he picks against both of us, he's always right and we're always wrong.
This is what you're gonna hang it on.
It's complete and utter nonsense. I'm gonna pick it's not only that. But this makes it all the sweeter to pick the Steelers.
I don't think it's even going to be pretty. I mean, it's at Steelers. Yeah.
Leave it to Kaiser to screw me again.
Yeah, he done enough of that at Notre Dame, didn't he? Okay. Jets at Patriots.
He's really picking the Browns. I can't. Patriots.
Yep.
Yeah, Patriots.
Come on.
Redskins at Giants.
Redskins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hate to say it, but yep. Oh boy, we're gonna burn through these quick. Like at this rate,
There's nothing to talk about
I
with these
know.
games.
Which is what happens the last week of the season. You have the clear front runners, then you have the who cares.
Yep.
Yeah, but I do have something prepared, and I hope it works.
Okay.
Which we can talk about after we make our picks.
All right. Cowboys at Eagles.
I mean,
Yeah, Eagles.
Yeah. Eagles.
I mean, didn't the Eagles say they're gonna rest some players or something? I mean, they already got it clinched and everything, so they're not really playing for anything. I think Cowboys might have a shot here, even though they're not playing for anything either. But at least get that winning record, that 9-7. And the Eagles, they don't fucking care. If they go 13-3 or 14-2, they got the first spot and everything. Who gives a fuck? I'm picking the Cowboys.
Okay. Jaguars at Titans. Oh Lord.
This is one of the money games. I think this is the game everyone is looking at, because of the playoff implications. Because this game matters to every team that is in the AFC playoff hunt, or in the AFC playoff race. It matters to the Ravens if they don't win. It matters to the Titans themselves, obviously. It matters to the Bills if the Ravens don't lose, and it matters to the Chargers either way. So, that's gonna be interesting. Do the Jaguars have something to play for?
No.
No.
Nothing? Not even a better seed? Oh no, yeah, they're 10-5. Can they lose one to the Chiefs?
That I don't know. But does Jacksonville care enough about this game and about Tennessee to try to keep them out of the playoffs? That's my question.
I doubt it. I really doubt it. Because
they're a division.
Yeah. But if this game mattered to the Jaguars, I think they have the ability to just squash them.
Okay, the game really doesn't matter. They can't lose one to the Chiefs either, because the Chiefs, even if they win and the Jaguars lose, the Jaguars have the better conference record, so it doesn't matter. They're third seed no matter what they do. So they're probably going to rest some players too.
Yeah.
Except for Bortles. Because there's no use in resting someone who's bad.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go. Man, it's really not an easy pick.
I'm still going to go with the Jaguars though. I think that defense is in for a mauling, and they're trying to eat the Titans alive.
Yeah, I'm going to go Jaguars.
I think Jacksonville does care enough about keeping Tennessee out of the playoffs. I'm not going to. I think Jacksonville cares enough to keep Tennessee out of the playoffs that they actually play this game, and Jacksonville wins it.
But it always works so well when you go against both of us, doesn't it?
It's got to be smart picks. Minus the Cleveland.
Yeah.
I'm just picking that for history.
It's got to be smart picks. Yeah, pick Cleveland over Pittsburgh. Yeah. You might want to rethink that one, but okay. You do you.
That's why I said minus the Cleveland. Pay attention.
All right. Next. Bills at Dolphins.
That's a shit
game. It's another game that, it's still kind of important.
Yeah. the thing is, it's only important if the Ravens and the Titans don't, or the Ravens or the Titans don't win. If the Ravens win, I mean, they're playing the Bengals, and if the Titans win, which, well, we all said there won't, but
Right.
then it might be interesting. But apart from that, I mean, I don't know. Nah. But I'm gonna pick the. I think they're gonna play because they don't know what happens in the other stadiums, especially what happens in Tennessee. So I think they're gonna play their hearts out, and they're gonna try to run over the Dolphins as good as they can, and the Dolphins just don't give a fuck.
Well, the second reason, besides the Bills have something to play for, is the Dolphins have Jay Cutler. That's the second reason Buffalo wins this game.
And the third one is the Dolphins don't have anything to play for.
So we're all picking the Bills.
Yeah.
All right. Bengals at the Ravens.
Oh, there we go. That's the next one.
Yeah.
Ravens, and it's not gonna be beautiful. They're I think they're gonna squash them pretty much.
I'm going to go with Ravens. I'm not sure that it's going to be as much of a squash. But yeah, I think the Ravens win it.
Here's where we separate. I'm taking the Bengals.
Yay! And you're gonna be wrong about it.
I have no faith in Joe Flacco. And I think the Bengals are going to take way too much pride.
What are you trying to tell me?
Hey, let me take my pick. I didn't interrupt your pick. You shut up and let me take my pick. I think the Bengals take too much pride in eliminating Baltimore from the playoffs.
Yeah, but they can't do it on their own. Even if the Ravens lose, they might still make the playoffs if the Titans or the Bills lose. They don't have both. Like, the Ravens have the best shot of them all. Of those who haven't clinched already, obviously.
That doesn't mean Cincinnati's not going to play their hearts out to try to eliminate them.
Nah, I doubt it. Andy Dalton is going to be like, nah, who gives a fuck? Just like Andy Dalton always is.
Yeah, I don't have any faith in Flacco either, but I have no faith in Andy Dalton either. So it's like, pick them for me as far as those two are concerned. But yeah, I think Ravens. Raiders at the Chargers, which we touched on just a little bit earlier.
Yeah. That's the fourth and final of the important games. Well, no, there are two more, but come on, NFC. I'm going to pick the Chargers because they have this slight hope, and they're just going to try everything they can to somehow make it work, but ultimately they're not going to, because most likely I don't think the Bills are going to lose. Oh, wait. If the Ravens win, the Titans lose, the Chargers win, they're in. So they do have a chance. I'm going to pick the Chargers because they're trying. I mean, the only thing we have to take care of is that, someone tells them that they have a shot. I don't think they realize, but maybe they will.
I'm going to go with the Chargers. I got to pull the cord with somebody, so.
Okay, well, we're going to separate again because I'm taking the Raiders. I expect the Chargers will play like they played last week against the Jets. Better team than the Jets.
Yeah, they are. Okay, Cardinals at Seahawks.
I mean, again, the Seahawks also have something to play for, but they have to hope that the Falcons lose. So, I think they're going to try and they're going to beat the Cardinals. I mean, it's the Cardinals. Come on. Seahawks win.
I agree.
Yeah, Seahawks. 49ers at the Rams.
It's an interesting game.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Jimmy playing the way he is.
However, the Rams have already said that they're gonna rest a bunch of players.
Oh, well,
I'm gonna
then
pick the Niners.
it's not as interesting as I thought if they're resting a bunch of people.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but they announced it already, so.
Yeah. Well, if that's the case,
Here's
then
in that case.
Yeah, 49ers. Panthers at the Falcons.
This is one that matters.
Yeah.
Yep.
For both teams, actually.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, true. I'm gonna pick the Falcons just so they make the because they have to play for more. They have to play for actually making the playoffs. Whereas the Panthers, they're playing for their seed. They're not playing for the playoffs as it is. They're just playing for, getting the better seeding.
It's not going to make a difference on my pick, but what's the scenario for Atlanta?
If they win, they're in. If they lose, they have to hope that the Seahawks don't win.
Ew.
Either they win or the Seahawks lose. And the Seahawks need both to happen. Like they have to win and they need the Falcons to lose. We're gonna look at this right after we're done with our picks. So
I'm gonna pick the Falcons.
I'm taking Carolina.
yeah, Falcons.
All right. Should be an interesting game, though, either way. Chiefs at Broncos.
Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't even matter. They are starting Patrick Mahomes.
Oh yes. Now that you say that, I mean, the Chiefs also have nothing to play for. That's why they are resting Alex Smith and playing Patrick Mahomes.
But they're playing the Broncos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which have absolutely nothing at quarterback play.
Or anywhere else this year. Even their defense is garbage.
They got the Brockwurst. I love that name for Brock Osweiler. They got the Brockwurst. I mean, I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna be completely outlandish here. I'm gonna pick the Broncos, just for shits and giggles.
Well, J-Kid picked Cleveland, so you're allowed a farcical pick as well.
I still have a better shot of my pick being right than the fucking Browns beating the Steelers. Just for the record. All right?
All right. And then lastly, Saints at the Bucs.
Saints.
Yep.
Taking the Saints too, but not as quickly.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a squash, but okay. So that's the picks for the week. Now, there's one thing I want to bring up that just occurred to me as I'm looking through what's going to happen next week, since the playoff picture has not been announced. By the time we have this stream at the normal time, some of these games are already going to be played. So unless we have the stream earlier or we have it on Friday, we're not going to be able to make our picks on the playoffs, on the wild card. I'm amendable either way it goes. So what's best for you two?
Friday, Saturday, it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
Minding?
Same for me. Just do Friday then.
All right. Well, we'll just make that the thing then. We're going to do it Friday this coming week. Might have to do that through the playoffs since there are a lot of Saturday games. We'll just make it Friday then next week instead of Saturday. Okay. And we have 20 minutes left to our normal time limit. What did you say that you had? You said you had something.
Yeah, give me a second. I tried to bring it up as well as possible, but we'll see if that works.
Okay.
Just give me a second here again. I have to rename something so the order is not completely fucked up. Here we go. Wait a second. Oh, I should have prepared it better. But anyway. No, it's... How the heck?
We could do that, Monk, but Minding deleted his Twitter. As far as I know, J-Kid doesn't have one.
I do.
And I never check my email. So I am the world's
okay,
worst
it works now. Now, all I need is the fucking screen share to work. I hope this works. Can you see what I'm sharing?
Just a minute. Let me get over to that.
Please tell me you can see it.
Yeah, but I need to present it, I suppose.
You only have to click on me, basically. That's all you need to do.
Okay.
I hope everyone can see it now.
Yeah.
Those are all the scenarios, and I love the graphics. By the way, these were made by the NFL. I screen grabbed them. This is the scenario for the Atlanta Falcons, as you can read right here. I hope you can see my cursor. If you can't, it's below. It's below all the logos. So what the Falcons need is either they win or the Seahawks lose. Pretty simple, right?
Right.
The Seahawks, they need to win, and hence the plus in the middle. They need the Falcons to lose in return, obviously. Also pretty simple. Now, if we get to the AFC, it gets a bit more difficult. That's the scenario for the Ravens. They either win against the Bengals, or the Bills lose, or the Titans lose. The only scenario in which the Ravens would be out... What am I hearing right now? Okay. I think it's coming from J-Kid again.
Might have heard me light my cigarette.
Oh, that could be
muted.
Then it was you blowing.
Yep.
Don't let your cigarette that close to the microphone.
I'm wearing a headset. It's right near my mouth. What can I do? Go on. You were saying.
Yeah, okay. The only way the Ravens are not in the playoffs is if they lose, the Bills win, and the Titans win.
Okay.
This is the situation for the Chargers. They have to... We see it right here. Both times, the Chargers have to win. Both times, the Titans have to lose. And either the Bills lose or the Ravens win. So this one right here, the Chargers winning is necessary. The Titans losing is necessary. Because the Chargers cannot enter any tie with the Titans or they'll lose it. Because of the conference record, which will inevitably be better for the Titans.
Right.
Now, they can enter with the Bills because with the Bills, I think they played the Bills and they beat the Bills.
I don't remember.
If I'm not mistaken. But the other option, like if they enter a tie with the Bills, what they cannot do is enter a three-way tie with the Bills and Ravens, because in that scenario, the three-way tie would make the head-to-head between the Chargers and the Bills completely meaningless, And because of the conference record, the Chargers would be out again. So they need to win. They need the Titans to lose, and either the Bills lose or the Ravens win, so that they are only in a tie with one of the two teams.
I think the first scenario is probably the more likely of the two.
No, I think the second one is more likely. I mean, the Ravens winning against the Bengals? I think that's more likely than the Bills losing to the Dolphins.
Well, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I said it backwards than what I was seeing. Happens when you're old sometimes.
Yeah. It's so great for you. You can always put it on your age. This is the situation for the Buffalo Bills. They need to win. We see it right here both times. They need to win. No way around it. And either the Ravens lose or the Chargers and the Titans lose. So this is because they would win. Like the first situation would mean that they would be in a three-way tie with the Ravens and the Titans, and they would win it because the Ravens would. I think the Ravens would have the worst record, conference record. I'm not mistaken. Not 100% sure, but I think that's the way it is. And the other would just mean that the Bills were the one team with 9-7, whereas the other two teams would stick at 8-8. So there wouldn't be no tiebreaker because they are 9-7 and they don't give a fuck about the other teams. If the Chargers and Titans both lose. But again, they cannot enter anything with the Titans because the Titans would have the better conference record. And because they lost to the Chargers, they cannot enter anything with the Chargers. Now, those are some clinching scenarios. No more, some seeding scenarios, basically. Home field advantage for the Patriots. If they win, or if the Steelers lose. Simple. Pretty much the same as with the Falcons. If they win, or if the Steelers lose. Now, for the Steelers, the other way around, kind of like with the Seahawks, they have to win and they need the Patriots to lose. Not going to happen. The Patriots are not going to lose to the Jets. Come on.
No.
First round bye for the Vikings. They have to win or the Panthers have to lose. But or the Rams have to win, or the Saints have to win. We went over that earlier. It's in two graphics, but it's both first round bye for the Vikings. But there's a big or between both of them, between those two graphics. There's another big or. So they get the first round bye if they win, or if the Panthers lose, or if the Rams win, or if the Saints win. If none of those four happens, they will be the number 3 seed. That means the 49ers win, the Buccaneers win, the Panthers win, and the Bears win. Not going to happen. Come on. Who are you kidding? The Saints clinching the division title. They don't have that in the bag yet. Either if they win or if the Panthers lose. Again, simplest of scenarios. Now, this is where it gets interesting. This is what the Panthers need to get the first round bye. Like I said earlier, very unlikely. They need to win, and they need the Saints, the Rams, and the Vikings to lose. Come on. No, just no. And I think this is it. Yep, this is it. That's all I had.
Some of that's pretty convoluted.
Yeah, like this is what we see right here. Come on, it's not going to happen. The Saints aren't going to lose to the Buccaneers. The Rams might lose to the 49ers, but the Vikings are not going to lose to the Bears.
Yeah.
This is very likely that the Saints are going to clinch because they're going to beat the Buccaneers. That's all they need. They got it in their own hands. Yeah, Vikings most likely because they win against the Bears, but also maybe because the Saints are going to beat the Buccaneers. Maybe because the Rams, even though they're like resting a lot of players, They're beating the 49ers. Could very well be. The Falcons also have something to play for, so they could beat the Panthers. It's not a gimme for the Panthers to win that game. So, yeah, the Vikings got the first round bye. Come on, if you're a Panthers fan, yeah, you've got hope, but that's all you've got. That one's easy. That one's easy. This is the most. This right here is the most difficult part. I didn't include the Titans, unfortunately. That's bad. Okay, I'm gonna end this. I'm gonna try to find if where I missed the Titans.
While you're doing that, I want to address something in chat real quick. Falcon Millennial asks, have you guys ever said why or how you got into football? Jake and I have alluded to it a little bit. There was a time I wasn't a huge fan of football. I could take it or leave it. But when he was 3 years old, he just suddenly became fascinated with it, which in turn got me watching it with him, and then the rest is history.
By the age of 3, I could name all the teams by their logo.
Yep.
Yeah,
I was born to love football.
Yeah, we used to have, they maybe still have them here, bubblegum machines where you'd get these little football helmets out of them, and he had a full set. Well, it was a full set at the time, and he could name them all. But this was before the expansion.
I want those too.
They were cute. They were pretty cool. We spent a lot of quarters trying to get him the full set because, on a bubblegum machine, you don't know which one's going to drop.
I hate my parents now because they didn't leave Germany to move to the U.S. before I was born. Like they only had a 3-year window where they could have done it between the fall of the Berlin Wall and my birth. So the window was pretty narrow, and when Eastern Germany was basically liberated from socialism, my parents already had a 6-year-old son at the time, which is my 9-year-old my 9 years older brother. So I understand that it was difficult, but come on, you could have at least tried. But
your answer to that question?
I think I have answered it before, but I'm going to do it again. It's hard to pin down, really. Like I think it started first when I was up late. Pretty much, it was coincidence. Maybe it would have happened later anyway, but at the time it was a coincidence. The Super Bowl in Germany starts around 2 a.m. local time on a Monday morning, and I was a subtly rebellious teen. I wasn't a rebellious. I wasn't like, on the nose rebellious, but I was like, every here and there, trying to rebel against my parents in very subtle ways. But I did it. I was a nuisance as a kid, and what I did most of the time was just staying up very late. I had my own room on my own story. Yeah, we had a 2-story house, and I was on my own. I was upstairs, and they were downstairs. And my room and my parents' bedroom were on the completely different side of the house. So it's really like a long distance. They couldn't hear if I watched TV quietly. They couldn't hear it. Even if one of them got up at night, going to the bathroom downstairs, they couldn't hear it. If I close the door and everything, they can't see, they can't hear. I can watch TV if it's quiet enough. So I was up one night when the Super Bowl was on. I think it was Super Bowl 45 where the Packers won. And I watched it and I was like, what the fuck is this game? I don't understand this. But it looks interesting, like people running into each other. Like, how old was I? Maybe 17 or something. I was like, that looks interesting. People running into each other, full speed and everything, and clashing, and that was the first time I watched it, and I was like, okay, interesting. Went to bed. Well, not really, because the next day I had to get up, obviously. I mean, the game ended around 6 a.m. So I had to get up around 6 a.m. and I was like so fucking tired on Monday. I had sleep from like, I don't know, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., like 4 hours of sleep. Then I watched the Super Bowl just because not because I knew that the Super Bowl was on, but I was like, nah, sleeping is boring. I can sleep when I'm dead. So I'm just going to watch some TV. And I was like, okay, that looks interesting. Just stumbled across it. Next year, I was like, okay, pretty much the same thing happened for Super Bowl 46. And I watched it again, and I was like, okay, looks interesting. I understand some of it. The commentators, the announcers of that Super Bowl 46 explained a bit more, which was good for me to understand the game. And then at some point, I was like, okay, now I kind of get a hold of this game. And then I started watching every year the Super Bowl. Then they moved the broadcast to another station where they were able to show the whole playoffs for once. I was like, I'm watching the playoffs. Heck yeah. And that's how I got into it pretty much. Like it was just a coincidence, really.
Yeah. Well, Jake, I remember very clearly the day it happened. He was 3. I was babysitting. I'm flipping through the channels trying to find anything to keep him occupied. And past a football game, and he's like, "Football, Dad, football." And I'm like, how the heck does he even know football? Because I didn't watch it much then or anything. So I flipped it back, and he stayed glued to that TV. And I'm like, this is a good thing. So, yeah, I wasn't my parents weren't big sports fans, although my mother would watch college basketball on occasion. So I wasn't too much at that point. But, yeah, he kind of drug me in with him.
Can I just... I mean, we only have 2 minutes, but J Kid.
Yeah.
I've seen what you have written there. You cheeky bastard.
And for those of you that might watch this later, he's referencing a post. All I'm gathering from this is Minding is a bandwagon fan, likes the Packers because they were the champs.
Look, I'm gonna explain something to you.
That's okay. I'll quit listening.
The thing is, you can start out as a bandwagon fan, but what really makes a bandwagon fan is that they jump from one bandwagon to another. I saw the Packers. I loved how Aaron Rodgers played, and I was like, that's my team. And it is my team to this day. And it's going to be my team forever. Like, there's not much bandwagon about this. Like, yeah,
you know what pisses me off about this whole story?
What? What did you say?
So you know what pisses me off about this whole story?
What?
Your first NFL experience, Aaron Rodgers was the quarterback. You know how old that makes me feel?
Yeah, seriously, because like I became a Giants fan because I happened to watch a Giants game and watch Little Joe Morris, who you've probably never heard of,
No, I haven't.
run 80 yards for a touchdown with one shoe off and his sock a flopping. So,
Nice.
yeah.
But
Anyway.
I gotta say though, it was for me. It was the same with soccer. Then again, like not the same in that I saw it first time when I was 17 and it was a coincidence, but pretty much the same as it was for you, Jake, when you said you were like 3 years old and you watched football. For me, it was the same with soccer, obviously, because that's the thing in Germany and pretty much everywhere outside of the U.S.
Yeah,
that was artificial. But
Alpaca.
I saw. Well, I wasn't 3. I was. I think I was 8 when I first consciously watched soccer. Because like my family never was really like sports, really consisting of sports fans. So at my home, there really was never any sports going on TV. So I was like, okay, with 8 years old, I was like watching soccer, and I was watching Bayern Munich at the time, and I was like, well, they're playing nice. And I think like the first game I can remember, I don't think it's the first I ever watched, but the first game I can remember was the Champions League final of 2001, where the Packers mixing sports here, where Bayern Munich played the FC Valencia from Spain, and Bayern Munich won.
You realize
look what Falcon Millennial said in chat.
You realize that you're to all the Americans that you're talking to right here. This is going right over our heads, because as soon as we hear the word soccer, our brains turn off.
Look, you do see Falcon Millennial though. Soccer is for countries that haven't put a man on the moon.
That's a good one, Falcon Millennial. I'm gonna give you that one. That is good.
Yep.
But yeah, Alpaca. We definitely watched the greats play like Joe Montana in real time, and there was nothing like it.
For both the 49ers and the Chiefs.
Yep.
Look, now, I can say I've seen the greatest goalkeeper of all time playing.
Yeah, but nobody cares about that.
What?
Okay.
Billions of people care about that.
We're over time. We're going to go ahead and bring this to a close. I did want to mention one thing real quick. I finally broke 800 subscribers on my channel. It was at 810 last time I looked, and so be looking for something special on this. I know I've been a little lax the last 2 weeks. I announced on Twitter I would be through the holidays, but I'll figure out something special to do for 800 subscribers. And
I'll not watch it.
And thanks to everybody that helped me get there. So here's to hoping we get to 1,000 before too much longer. Anyway, thanks everybody for coming out. As always, we really appreciate our regular watchers and they come every week. Minding, J-Kid, you got anything to say before we go?
Happy New Year, everybody.
Yes.
I just realized something. I need to get rid of my Christmas hat.
Yep,
it's a bit overdue, but I'm gonna fix that. And I wanna leave you all with a very German message, kind of what we in Germany.
Oh my God! If you start talking about soccer again, I'm
no. Come on, we got that behind us. You're wrong. I'm right. We got that cleared. Okay. No, what we in Germany do at the end of every year is we wish everyone a good slide into the new year. I don't know why we do that, but I love the tradition, and I want to wish all of you a good slide into 2018.
Yeah, Happy New Year, everybody. I did forget that. So anyway, we're going to end it here, and as always, get out of my yard.